Hey there, you guys. So welcome back to my channel, and this one is going to be a Jackson's art haul and brush test. This is going to be so much fun because I have a ton of brushes, all from Jackson's, and I've managed to get some new ones here, and then I also just unwrapped all of these new Roman Szmal paints. So since there is a really cool watercolor sale on right now, I thought this was a great opportunity to do a brush test for rounds, showing you the different round brushes that I have available for you to check out and see the performance of. And then also we'll do it with some of the new paints that I just got from Roman Szmal. So I'm really excited. So as you know, I have the wood box set from Roman Szmal that I got last year, I think for my birthday. And I absolutely love this one. It is so cool. It's got like a little hand painted card. And then there is on the back of this palette, there is a mixing well. I don't use the mixing well actually. I just kind of keep this here and I use like either the tin here or I use my ceramic palettes, but in any case I will put those there so you can see them. And these are some additional colors because I liked the Roman Szmal set so much that I went ahead and just ordered some different reds and pinks and blues. So I thought we would have a really good try of some of these here. And since everybody needs a great round brush, we're going to do these brushes. So what this is I do not have, and I didn't realize I didn't have one, or maybe I do somewhere and I just don't know where it is, but the Escoda VERSATIL, I do not have a size 8 in it. Oh yeah, I do. Look at that. It's right there. I thought, okay, never mind. I found it. Just call me crazy. I think it's just been a long day. All right, so we're going to do the PERLA Escoda size 8. We're going to do the Escoda Prado size 8. Can you guys see these? We're going to do a Princeton round size 8. This is from the Neptune collection for watercolor. DaVinci Cosmotop Mix B size 8. This is a mix of synthetic and squirrel, like sable. And I don't know if there's any squirrel in this. I think it's just different kinds of sable, maybe. And then the Tintoretto size 6, because they don't have a size 8. And then the VERSATIL size 8. So we have these. Now, I'm looking to see if I have an Ultimo. You know, I need an Ultimo because you can't really do a test without an Ultimo. So I'm pretty sure that I have one. I just have to look through my sets real quick. So let's take a look and find that Ultimo because I believe I know I've got one. And I'm wondering if these are size 8. Well, that's a size 6. I mean, maybe we should put one of these in here too. This is the Tintoretto because it's kind of a round, but it's a quill round, right? We'll put it in there just so that you can see the performance of it. But what I really want to show you is the Ultimo. How about an Ultimo size 10? That's close enough. All right, so we got some decent brushes here, and I'm going to write them down right here in just a second. So bear with me. Are you ready? Okay, so there you go, just like that. All right, so starting with the Escoda PERLA, let me wet my paints here. And what I'll do is I will call out the name of the paint that I'm sampling. You can see I've already saved you all that time of me unwrapping them and doing the initial color swatches because I feel like that is everywhere. It's not like, well, maybe not with Roman Szmal, but I feel like it's such a long time to watch that. It's kind of me personally, I would rather have a brush challenge while I was swatching than anything else, or maybe even like draw some trees. We could do some trees. Why don't we do trees? That would be fun. All right, let's start with the Escoda PERLA size 8. So one thing I know about the Escoda Perla is it's got a really great point. I've been using this for quite a while for a lot of negative painting, and I found that it has a wonderful ability to get real sharp, right? So in doing that, I like the fact that it kind of gives me that flexibility of it holds a decent amount of water, but maybe not a ton of water, and it maintains the point. So if I wanted to draw like trees, like say we're doing birch trees, then you can see the performance of it easy, right? Like when it comes to a detail or sharp point, you definitely have what it takes. So I'm using, that was Cobalt Aquarius, Aquarius Cobalt Blue. And let me get you like a full strength. It is so, so beautiful. Isn't that pretty? So if we were going to load this brush with water and see how long it lasts, it's a decent amount of water. It really is. I mean, it will definitely, on this is 100% cotton paper, it will work pretty well for you if you look, right? It's not bad. And will it do some effects? Yeah, absolutely, it will do effects. It won't do as much as like an Ultimo or even, you know, some of these like the Cosmotop, but it still does a great job. And I love the fact that because it's synthetic, it holds that point for a long time. So let's mix with our blue a little bit of Potter's Pink with it. And that's going to give us a little bit of a neutral tone, a neutral tint. So this is Potter's Pink. It just kind of gives me a little bit of a lavender kind of look. And then I'm going to mix these two together to get a purpley neutral tint, but I want to go a little darker, so I'm going to add a little bit of indigo to it just to kind of get a little deeper. And here's where we can definitely, like, you can see the details. See how it just does those great branches very easily. And you can hold it closer. So I find that it's really great for detail. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to draw. So this is just a, you know, just a little mock tree. And as it does mix in a lot of really good water, I kind of really love the fact that I can kind of go over and do multiple layers. It gives me a ton of control. So I do really like the Escoda Perla. So I think if you were going to do negative painting, like say I want to paint, say I want to do like a Potter's Pink, just do a really, really rough flower. We'll mix it with a little blue. So that's the Potter's Pink, and then a little bit of indigo in the center. So you can see how it just gives me just enough water to really do stuff. And then I wanted to go around it and not touch those, right? So say I wanted to paint the blue around it, it allows me to literally fill in. So I can drop in color very, very easily, and I can get really, really close. You know, now if this is dry, I'm going to take in a lot of chances. I'm pretty close. You can just literally drop in more color with this, you know, and then if you want to rub out the color and just keep it wet so you can add more color into your background, or even just get like a light wash, it will do it. It will hold enough, you know. even at this small size. So it's kind of really good. So I could do layers, very, very light layers, even heavier layers. I can drop in color and I can get really, really in there really tight, even while I have wet layers, and then I can go back and do even more. So that's pretty good, right? It's pretty quick. It's a very speedy brush. So that was pretty good. So I was able to do that and even, you know, and just make it. So you get thin brush strokes, and it performs really well. I'm really happy with that brush, and I do reach for it a lot. So the next one is the Prado 8. Now Prado 8 is a great size for Prado. There's actually a Taylor brush collection. This is David Taylor's brush. It comes with 3 brushes, the David Taylor collection, and I believe I have the other one here. Let's see. In any case, I think you get a larger one. I know I just had it. Here it is. So you get these 2 brushes and then one other from the David Taylor collection, and it's really cool because these are Prado. They are really nice brushes, and you have like both the sizes. So let's go ahead and take another color. Let's play with that indigo. That indigo is really nice. This is Indigo by Roman Szmal. So for the Prado, first let's wet our brush and just kind of start to do a wash, and I'll tell you how I feel. So as I'm doing the wash, it doesn't hold a ton of water. It holds a little bit more than the VERSATIL, but you could see I could get a pretty wet wash with the VERSATIL. This is a kind of even wash, but that was it. I'd have to wet it again, and then I didn't get more color, and you can see the color's already gone. So this is a really good brush. Does it have as much detailability as the VERSATIL? Nope, it's a little bit looser. It's not as tight. So the snap is different. This is snappier. This is like a 2. This is like a 1 snap. This is like a 2 snap, right? So this would be the next softest brush. So things that would be great with this would be petals. You know, you could make really nice little petals with a brush like this because it gives you enough of a point to get in there. And let's just grab that Potter's Pink again and develop the petals out, you know, really, really easily. And then you have the ability to kind of go around, but I can't really get in real tight with it, even though if I really tried I could, but it's definitely looser on the tip, so it's not going to give me that flexibility that the other one did. But as far as doing like these kind of washes with a decent amount of water, yeah, you can definitely color and do the washes. So this is an all-around brush, I would say, a good all-around brush. But as far as using it for details, this is the Cobalt Cerulean, by the way. That's that beautiful color. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I like it more to just an all-around brush, right? Just to use a looser brush. But I can see why I grabbed this one a lot because of the details, you know. So still, if you want to do more details, PERLA is good. Prado is also good, but it's more like a regular watercolor brush. Okay, next one is the 8 VERSATIL. Now, I'm a big fan of VERSATIL. I love this brush. It's such a great brush. It's kind of like somewhere in the middle. It's not too firm and not too loose. So it does hold a decent amount of water. So this is the ultramarine, that violet. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Let's get some more color. Get enough water in my brush. So I can do a wash with a VERSATIL. This is the Escoda VERSATIL. I can do petals. It's got a nice point. It's got a decent amount of snap, and it gives me a nice even wash. So you can see this is a wet on dry. It gives me a really, really beautiful, beautiful effect. Let's take some of that indigo and we're going to just see it bleeds really, really well. So it holds enough water where it's releasing. You can do flowers with this one. You can tell it's a little stiffer though, because the end, it doesn't have that round that the Prado does. It has more of a little bit more of a snap. So you would have to shape your petals just a bit more. But at the same time, I feel like the snap on this is tighter than the Prado, but looser than the PERLA. And that's why it's right in the middle, you know? So I think it has the best of both worlds on this one. So if I wanted to take this Potter's Pink and get real close, yeah, I'm comfortable with it. It definitely has enough tension in the synthetic bristle for me to go around. And then if I wanted to add water and do like kind of a wash and drop in more color, yep, this will definitely do that. I can even like go over the petals, and it has enough enough wash in there to just kind of blur that out. And then if I wanted to drop in color, it definitely has enough water still in there to be able to drop in color. So I can do a lot of background work. I can do a lot of different things. Can I shape trees? Yes, I would say so. Let's take some cobalt turquoise is this next color. I love cobalt turquoise. And you can definitely make trees. And the point is decent on the size 8. You know, I would say if you wanted to use this one as a brush that, I don't know, that does more detail, and you didn't want to have, you know, you would definitely need a smaller size. But as you can see, I was able to get, even at this small size, I was able to get a pretty good tree branch, you know, and that's a small size. I don't think you would really like, I don't know that you would need anything larger. So what I'm using here is just a little bit of Quin Yellow by Roman Szmal with that indigo, and it's just mixing into like a cobalt kind of complement for the greens. Kind of fun. It's a nice yellow. It's an easy yellow to mix. And then just drop in a little bit of indigo for the darks. Of course, this has got to like kind of, I don't know, it's got to dry before I can do more with it. But yeah, so that's in between the two, definitely in between the two. The next one is the Ultimo. So the Ultimos are really fun to use. So if you were using like a larger piece of paper, I would say Ultimo would be your thing. That would be the one that you wanted to use because it gives you that beautiful ability to do skies, right? So let's take that Cobalt Cerulean again. I really like that. I need more of that in my life. And we're just going to go through and bam, you just have the ability to do a beautiful wash. Pretty much one stroke and plenty of water. Then you can take the same brush, more paint, and you can drop in more color very, very easily. So if this is your painting style and something you like, this is the brush because it's got such a big, beautiful belly and it does a lot. Now I'm dropping in some of that indigo. Just to make some clouds in this area here where it's not so wet, then it gives me that ability to do that. So this would also, will it do a point? Not really that much. Let me see. If I don't have that much water in it, the most point I can get from this is like that much. So not a lot, but like if I were working on a larger piece of paper, then no problem, right? Let's take some of the cobalt blue, and I'm just going to use that to do a few just strikes here to make it kind of look like a tree, a blue tree. Maybe we'll add some of that Quin Yellow. Quin Yellow is interesting. It's pretty it's pretty bright. It likes to take over. We might have to mix a little darker, like Aquarius cobalt blue in here, just to kind of encourage some deeper greens. Of course, guys, you would want to let some of these things kind of dry a bit before you just start adding colors. But as you can see, my Ultimo can really handle it. I haven't reloaded it in a while with water, and I'm just kind of grabbing more color here and adding more color, and it's just going and going and going. So it definitely has enough to keep going. And I can do a couple of things with it. I mean, if I'm really careful, I can kind of do some strikes with the point. I just can't set the belly down, but you would have to, it's not like, you know, it's not something that you would on a normal basis use for like little tiny details like this. You would definitely want another brush like a PERLA, but it can handle a lot. I like what it did with the tree. It's nice. It mixes really well on paper. You know? Okay, so that's our Ultimo. So plenty of water. So next is the DaVinci Cosmotop, and I put that next to this one because I figured since this is real hair and synthetic, it probably is going to perform really similarly. So let's go with the Ultra Intense. Ultra Intense is a so nice color. So I'm going to get plenty of water in my brush, and oh yeah, it does washes beautifully. So pretty. And the water stayed. It was pretty good. Did pretty good. So that was a quick wash. It can drop in color. Let's get a little more of our Ultra Intense. So you can see it holds a lot more water than the Ultimo. And the Ultimo is a size 10 and this is a size 8. So being that this has the mix of the real hair with the synthetic, you definitely have the ability to do a lot more with it as far as like how much water. And also I like the strikes on the page. It kind of like makes a really, really nice, you know, little detail here. Can you use it for a point though? I don't know. Not really. No, it's just too thick. But you could paint, you know, like a trunk with it. Too thick for that though. But you definitely can use it to do these little loose leaves on trees. You can paint washes with it. And you would, for this size, you would do like this scale piece of paper, not try to fit details into a tiny, tiny little bit like this. But as it dries and some of the water comes out of this brush, it does give me some nice effects. I like that. Ooh, what was that color? That's phthalo turquoise. Beautiful color. That is just a gorgeous color. Pretty. So in order to get something with detail, then I would take this one and then I can sketch much better, you know? So I'm just going to kind of go in here and do some sketchiness. Just so you can see what it's like if you mix the two brushes together. Okay, so now I'm going to go, and this one was the VERSATIL. Let's take a little bit of that green and just see if we can. It actually doesn't do those drops as well as the other ones. These two did the drops way better. You know, just like this kind of just dropping in some color. Maybe like on the side of it, you can kind of tap it in a decent way. I still really love the way that those look because they kind of split at the end. So you get those nice little things. But Yeah, you can kind of do it. You can just kind of hold it. I guess the tip's really, really sharp, so it doesn't kind of want to split. Oh, there we go. A lot less water in the brush, and it kind of does it. Still not as well. I actually think it's a little small for this, but I mean, I guess if you were traveling and this is all you had, then this would be a great brush to take with you, the Versatil size 8. I would have this one over the Prado, but I still love the PERLA. That's like for details, right? I just can't go wrong with that. It just performed really, really well. Okay, next is the Tintoretto size 6. So this brush came with a watercolor set that I received from a Gallo watercolor. And I love, love, love those watercolors. They are so nice. Really thrilled to use them. They're fun. And so it came with this. This is a Tintoretto size 6, so it's from Italy. Let's take Quin Gold. It's a beautiful color. So this is a 6. When you have a 6 brush, it's definitely not for washes, but just so you can see, it's a great little brush, right? I have been very, very impressed with the Tintoretto brushes. As I said before, I have tried several of them, and I've been really thrilled with them. I think that they're pretty incredible brushes, you know? Let's mix a little bit of that Cobalt Blue 35 in here. Just going to drop it in. Grab some more of these blues so that it can mix in with our Quin Gold. So the Quin Gold is just a lovely, lovely yellow. And it's a very pretty color. Very, very pretty color. Roman Szmal paints, I am so shocked at how great they are, you know, and I love Schminke, but Roman Szmal has become my second favorite paint over Sennelier, actually. I don't really touch my Core or my Sennelier at all anymore. It's like I'm constantly digging into Roman Szmals and just thrilled with them. I love them. I haven't painted a ton with the A Gallo, but so far I've painted some projects with them and I really liked those too. I just have a lot more colors available to me in the Roman Szmal now because I got the wood box set and I have these. Okay, so decent. I could paint anything with this. I really could. I could manage a smaller wash and do a lot. Now, the point, right? You're going to ask me the point. I don't know. Not bad, but definitely it's going to ruin this tree. What I would do with it is I would use it to build out, build out washes. And then, let's see if we can save this. Just screwed it up. Here we go. Go back. What am I going to reach for? I'm going to reach for that PERLA again because that PERLA will get me to where I want to go here. Yeah, I like it. It's beautiful. So really neat. So you could actually just have a little PERLA in a travel brush and a Tintoretto travel brush, and that would do a lot. Just those two, right? In a little notebook, and those would do a lot. I think that would be a great set. You're really going to like this Tintoretto quill, but okay, we're going to do that in a second. Let's just do the Neptune. Let me stay focused. Let's see. So let's take one of these reds here because I want to see. Anth red. Ooh, that's pretty. So this is a size 8 in the Neptune. It's a very light brush. Like the weight of it is very light. I don't know that I love that, but my experience with Neptunes is that, oops, I almost got more water, but decided not to, is that first out of the gate, they hold a ton more water than you would ever expect. They're synthetic squirrel, so they're meant to be and perform like squirrel, and they are exactly that. They do exactly that. I have squirrel brushes, and the Neptune performs great, just like squirrel, and I have so many of them. So if that's what, so you can see it does a great even wash. If you only have Princeton Neptune available to you, you can't go wrong with these. And I have a ton of them. I mean, I have like the daggers, I have the mottlers, I have the entire, like, I literally have like every size in the Neptunes. So if you're really interested in Neptune, let me know and I can get them all out and show you what they can do. So let's go ahead and grab this ultra pink. It's so, so pretty. And I'm just going to see what kind of petals I can get with this. So definitely enough water in the brush. And I'm just reloading it with paint to give me those beautiful petal shapes. Really pretty. And then let's see if it does a stem. So we'll grab this Viridian and mix it with a little bit of that indigo. Oh yeah. And then I can do the leaves. So just a wonderful all-around brush that holds plenty of water and can give you a decent point, you know, so you can see I can literally get a nice little strike going here for some grass. So you could do a lot with this brush. I've had some people say they do not like these, but I really like them, you know. I mean, I can do a lot of painting with these. There was a time when I got these in the beginning that I was like so excited about them. I literally use them all the time, and that's why I got every single brush that Neptune offered. And I still have them. They're perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. So Jackson's has them. They have the entire line. I just don't think really you can't really complain about Neptune. They're nice. They even have, see, I have a script by Neptune. But yeah, and then I have all of these flats that they have, the Princeton Neptune flats, and they have these beautiful, what are they called? They're sea glass handles. Okay. So pretty nice. So how are we doing for, now that this is dry, let's get some color on here, and we're just going to do an interesting tree. It's got so much water still in the brush that literally I can't even get yet, you know, broken up little leaf kind of shapes because there's so much water in this brush. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on with this brush. I mean, look at this. I washed the brush out and I just loaded it back with water again. Let me wipe it off. So plenty of yeah, and I can actually kind of strike up a little bit and get some you know, thinner details. So I can do very, very loose trees, little flowers, things like that. Let's real quick grab these other brushes and just kind of go through here and see if we can do those petals, because I realize a lot of you guys like to do flowers. So here is the alizarin crimson on the Tintoretto. So I'm just laying the brush down and see what I get. Okay, so if you do it backwards, it gives you the wider end. Not bad, actually. Yeah, so you could do a lot with the Tintoretto, you know? The DaVinci Cosmetop. So I'm going to get the dioxazine violet. And interesting. So it's much more of a flat shape. And then it's kind of wild that like the inside of it, like the water stays at the tip. So that's kind of really cool, actually. Isn't that unique? I love playing with brushes because you just never know what you're going to get. You see what I'm doing? Literally, that's like the tip. The tip is got all the water, and then the base near the ferrule doesn't have as much water at all. But lots of water on the tip. That's interesting. I'm kind of glad I did that. I didn't realize that. And then the Ultimo size 10. So this was a really good, this was a great challenge. Quin Fuchsia. Let's grab some Quin Fuchsia. So that's neat. It's interesting. It's really interesting to see the shapes that the brushes make, you know? It's pretty. Very, very nice. Okay. I don't know what happened to this. Just that experiment is not working out yet. So let's just kind of fix it. Let's make it better. There we go. We'll fix it later. Versatile. Okay, so the Versatile. What color do we grab? How about we go with the ultra intense? Yeah, so the end likes to spread out, and then the close to the base, that's where you get the thinnest area. Okay. I like. That's neat. Then we have the Prado. Did I do? Oh, I did the Prado. But let's just do it again because we have some more colors to test out. This is Quin Red. Oh, Quin Red's beautiful. It's like an orangey red. Okay, so I can spread the tip out, shift my brush, and pick it up. So spread the tip out, shift my brush, and pick it up. And then it will give you a nice petal shape. Spread the tip out, and then pick it up. Well done. And then the PERLA, we didn't really do a decent, what didn't I do? Looks like I got them all. Ooh, cobalt blue. Cobalt sea blue. This is really pretty. So I can spread the tip out. And then pick it up. And it gives me, of course, a lot thinner shape, almost like a daisy type of shape. Sorry, I didn't mean to cover it there. Let's try it with my left hand. Maybe I have to shape it. Okay, nice. So that gives you an idea of what the shapes actually look like coming off of these brushes. All right, so, and then we were going to show you this Tintoretto quill since it's the same size, so you can get an idea of what it can do. So let's do a flower. We'll do our phthalo turquoise because this is just like a stunning color. So, of course, it has so much water. It's going to give you that like beautiful, like kind of dispersed petal look. So really beautiful and great to drop in color with, you know. So literally this is one of those brushes that you can drop color in, and then I can actually get, you know, a decent amount of draw power out of this quill because it's very soft. It's a synthetic quill, but it's like, it was just like squirrel. And so it's super, super soft. So you can get these like really neat like flicks and brush strokes with it. I love stuff like that. I think the soft brushes are really fun to play with, but that's just me, and that's why I wanted to show you that one. All right, so look at that. So we did a lot. Okay, so like as a review, I love the quill, the Tintoretto size 8 quill. That is so much fun to paint with. And of course, does it do washes? Oh yeah, it does washes. It does, of course it does. Just get a bunch of color, and it will definitely carry you through anything if you're traveling, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful brush, but it's very soft. It's like a squirrel, but it's synthetic. So you know, it's a quill. That's what quills, that's pretty much what you can expect from them. I would say it's a lot like the Neptune quill, you know. It's very soft, so it's meant to be like squirrel. See? Okay, so to review our rounds, the Escoda PERLA is this one, and that is absolutely a great detail brush. The Prado was a little more stiff, but also a great all-around brush. But would I choose it over the VERSATIL? Maybe. I don't know. It's got, I kind of like always love my VERSATIL brushes. I don't paint a ton with the VERSATIL rounds. As you know, if you're a regular on my channel, I actually paint with my VERSATIL long round, size 10. So this is my like favorite VERSATIL brush, but it's because I just can do so much with it, and the point actually is pretty good. So I haven't used this one a lot, but I probably, no, you know what? I probably wouldn't reach for that, in all honesty. I really love the way the Ultimo did some of the leaf shaping, and I like the way the DaVinci Cosmetop did more. Would I buy this brush in other sizes? I was considering buying this actually in more sizes, but I'm not really sure because it isn't all synthetic. It's part like animal hair, and I'm not really big on buying real animal hair. Although I'm just going to give you a warning, just to test out a brush for this channel, I do have a Kolinsky sable coming in, but I probably will only have one Kolinsky sable in my collection here. You can see the bristles, because they're real hair, they do splay out more. So you do have to kind of like shape them and really take care of your brush. I know one thing about real hair over synthetic. They don't like necessarily last as long, but the water retention is usually so much better. But with that being said, in this day and age, if you're looking at Escoda brushes or DaVinci brushes, the synthetics hold plenty of water. You don't have to worry about getting a real squirrel brush or a real fur brush, because you literally don't need it. You know what I mean? You don't need to spend the extra money, but these are still really well priced. I did really love the way, I mean, look at the way it dispersed the color. It's probably the more professional looking and performing brush. So in that way, I'm kind of like really happy with them. I have the size 12 that I use a lot, and this is the size 8. So would I keep buying one? Yeah, I probably would get another one. I probably would try the flat or maybe a different shape, maybe even a smaller one, because I do like the way it delivers the color. It did make a huge difference having that extra bit of water with some really, really big colors, because I think I can get the vibrancy, but then I can also kind of get some really unique shapes and some different kinds of washes with these. So for me personally, for more advanced watercolor stuff, I would reach for this again. Would I reach for the Neptune the same way? Probably not. I think that the Neptune is great for beginners, but I think that it's very easy to use and it's very light brush to use. And it does everything you want it to do, but I don't find that it has the kind of delivery system that the Cosmotop does as far as delivering paint versus water and being able to disperse color. I think that this performed really, really well. I also noticed that the Tintoretto does a decent job, but I don't think it's as great at shifting the color in the water. And it's kind of like a thing, like when you paint, the Ultimo did a good job of it. When you paint and you have water and color together, let's do this. So I have water and I'm going to get some color in my brush, right? So when you lay it down, this is what you get. Whatever the brush shape is, that's what you get. So when I do it again, it's going to start dispersing color from the brush along with the water that's in the brush. And as a result, it's going to give you both shape and a delivery system of color. So when you get past your initial beginner's kind of trial and error and testing everything out, it comes down to what you actually feel really comfortable painting with, both in hand and also in the delivery system. And what I look for is I look for things that actually don't perfectly deliver it. And I'll tell you why. When I lay this brush down, right, this is great, but not something I would do to deliver water versus paint, because you see the even coverage. So it's a good detail brush that I can use to paint and sketch, but it's not something that I would let mix color on paper. Because see how well this mixed the color right on paper? So it did such a good job even without it even trying. It mixes the color on the paper well. And that's because it's got those natural hairs in there plus the synthetic. And they make these brushes by hand. So that's when I say that I would probably go with the Cosmotop, is because for like a professional painter, I would be able to get more from this brush than I would get from a lot of the other brushes. Even though you can see just from doing that, it like splits apart, it does all kinds of stuff. That might be a lot for someone to handle that is not used to handling paint and color and isn't trying to do certain kinds of effects. You know what I mean? That I would want to build up onto a canvas or a piece of paper. So for me, I probably will order more Cosmotop brushes just because I really love the performance here. Now the Ultimo was very similar to it, and I could probably, without too much work, get the Ultimo to do something similar, because you see how it delivered color in a very natural way, right? So I feel, though, right off the bat, that this one, being all synthetic, it kind of is too much like squirrel only. And I feel like the Kolinsky sable brush I have coming in is going to be, one that I'm going to have to struggle with, because, or not struggle with as far as bad, struggle with as far as, oh my gosh, I really want more of these Kolinsky sables, because I have a feeling that, being that it's real hair, it's going to paint so well for my particular style, that I'm going to be able to do like so many beautiful effects with it. The Ultimo, I can do decent stuff with the Ultimo, but as far as building up color, it will do it, but I have to be much more careful with it than I do with the Cosmotop. So for my personal style and the way I like to mix colors on paper, I feel like this one had a great delivery system of both, and I didn't really find it in any of the other brushes. That's what makes this brush comparison so interesting, Going back to the Tintoretto, I have a feeling that I could get more out of this brush than I think. you know? Um, I don't know that it's gonna really like perform as well as it, but I have to say it's made in Italy. I don't know their process of making these brushes. I don't even really know what synthetic hairs they make out of it, but I still feel like I can get a lot out of these brushes. They're light as anything, and I tend to like a more weighted brush. Um, but at the same time, I feel like I could really paint well with the Tintoretto brushes. I've tried the Tintoretto Squirrel that I have right here. This is the natural squirrel quill, and I really like it. It's really quite a nice brush. It gives you the ability of building up color really, really well. You can just kind of take multiple colors and it gives you those beautiful, like, you know, effects. Like if I were going to do like grass base, so I can really build it up. And it's perhaps it's just that the natural hairs, anything really, really close to it, an all natural hairbrush is just, you know, so easy to make everything good, right? To make everything just perform well with. I don't know. I have a hunch that the closer we get to the uh, the natural hair, the more I'm gonna like it. And I really do try to paint with as many synthetic brushes as I can. You know, like I said, I haven't used this much, but I really do pick it up a lot. And I find that I'm kind of leaning towards it lately more than ever. So we'll see. So more on that as we go along in our journey here on the channel. But for right now, my favorite of this whole test was the Cosmetop, but that's just for me and my painting style and what I wish to achieve. My second one, I really liked the Tintoretto actually. Of course, the Perla, I don't consider that really in the running of these because this just stands alone as far as being a brush that you use for details, and I wouldn't use it as I would use these rounds. But yeah, but overall, I will not be reaching for the Prado. I will not be reaching for the PERLA. I was surprised at the VERSATIL because I love my other VERSATIL so much. This is like my number one favorite brush, so I always have this one on hand. I'm going to play more with this squirrel Tintoretto. I'm of course going to play more with the synthetic squirrel Tintoretto. I always keep my Perla brush on hand or something like it. And right now my Cosmetops are going in because these two Cosmetops are really amazing. Yeah, that's my choices right now. So that's what's going to go in my kit. The rest of them, I don't know. They're okay, but not something that I feel like I would buy again or buy additional sizes in. Right now, I'm really, really happy with these brushes. How do you feel? What do you guys like? Where did you think that you were going to get the most value for your dollar? They're all around the same price, I think. But right now, I'm waiting for a Jackson's brush sale. Right now, the Roman Szmal paints are on sale. So if you saw any colors here that you really liked, let me know because I have a link in the description box where you can save an extra 10% on top of the discount if you are shopping with me for the first time. So I would appreciate it. It helps the channel and allows me to do giveaways. All right, guys, that's my Jackson's haul on Roman Szmal, and oh, that rhymes, and my brush review for beautiful rounds. How do you use your rounds? I want to know. So leave me a message below, and if you're here still, thanks for sticking with me today.